Welcome back. So today is a continuation of our previous lesson in academic language used in academic texts. So this lesson aims to reiterate the proper use of language when writing or when using academic language.
Let us have a review first of the 5 aspects of academic language. These are objectivity, formality, explicitness, structure, and caution.
Academic text uses tentative statement, full forms of words, nominalized phrasing, passive voice, and third-person point of view. Yet, it avoids clichés, redundant words, or colloquialisms. We are taught of the importance of being cautious in our claims, the need to support our assertions with well-established and thoroughly vetted facts, leaving little room for doubt or debate. This approach not only enhances the credibility of our arguments, but also fosters a more informed and constructive discourse. Remember the term caution as explained in the last video. Now, what if you don't have proof? Or you may have proof, but it's not enough. How are you going to write your sentence? The solution? Make it sound tentative. Tentative statements include the following keywords: tends to, appears to, suggests that, would seem to. Take a look at these examples below. The first sentence, diet was an important factor in the health of the respondents, presents the findings with absolute certainty. The author is not in doubt. He is certain. But it would really be good if such claim is supported by a very strong evidence. The second sentence, however, the evidence suggests that diet was an important factor in the health of the respondents, is a hedged claim, indicating that the evidence is not sufficient to make outright claim or that it could allow for other interpretations. In academic writing, if you cannot provide evidence to your claim, at least make the statement tentative. In academic writing, only full forms of words, not contractions, are used. We already discussed that in the last video. Take a look at these as an example. Instead of using contracted words like won't, use the full form, which is will not. Generally speaking, avoid contractions in formal writing, such as business letters, essays, technical papers, and research papers, or in any professional writing that is meant for an audience of your peers.
It is usual to have more nouns than verbs in academic writing. A reminder from the previous lesson, nominalization is a noun phrase generated from another word class, usually a verb, but it could also be from an adjective. Say for example, Germany invaded Poland in 1939. This was the immediate cause of the Second World War breaking out. In sample 1, there are 2 verbs, invaded and was. The nominalization or the noun for the verb invade is invasion. So we will improve it. We will combine these 2 sentences into one so that we could lessen the number of verbs. So here, you will say, or you will write, Germany's invasion of Poland in 1939 was the immediate cause of the outbreak of the Second World War. So here in sample 2, we only have one verb, and that is was. In academic writing, we don't want to focus on who is doing an action, but on who is receiving or experiencing the action. Last time, we have discussed the term passivization. So it allows writers to highlight the most important participants or events within sentences by placing them at the beginning of the sentence. In addition, it's obvious, irrelevant, or repetitive to state who is the doer of the sentence. So instead of saying the study revealed that food affects the behavior of children, it is considered active, by the way, because the verb here, revealed, and the doer of the action is the subject of the sentence or the focus of the sentence. So instead of saying this or writing this, we will say The effects of food on children's behavior are revealed in the study. In academic writing, the third person point of view is usually clearer and allows a writer to come across as more credible. Here, the author distances from his emotion and become objective. Due to this and other reasons, the third person point of view is considered the best in academic writing. So, instead of saying, I should learn how to write because I here is a personal pronoun, and using the personal pronoun is not objective but subjective, we need to avoid it. So instead of saying this, we could write, college students should learn how to write well. Pronoun I was replaced with college students to show objective reasons.
When it comes to academic writing, some words and phrases that might be fine in casual conversation or informal writing just don't work out. So it's best to avoid language that's too casual, vague, exaggerated, or overly subjective. Plus, try to avoid anything that's unnecessary or just plain incorrect. So we need to avoid clichés, redundant words, and colloquialism. So when we say clichés, these are words, phrases, or ideas that might have been powerful and thought-provoking when first introduced, but have lost their impact through overuse. Their widespread popularity has made them appear worn out and unoriginal, leading to what we now recognize as clichés. So some of its examples are happily ever after, which is also already common in storybooks. There are plenty more fish in the sea, the common line when said to someone who just came off from a breakup. When we say redundant or redundancy, it is the repetition of words or phrases or even sentences, paragraphs, or ideas. It is also when two or more words together that mean the same thing. And it is also when a modifier's meaning is contained in the word it modifies. So, for example, you may say merge together. When you say merge, it is already means being together. So just use one thing. It's either just say merge or just together. Another example is past experiences. When we say past, or past here is redundant because when we say experiences, it is already pertains to the past. Like, for example, is also an example of redundancy. So just instead of saying like, for example, just say for example, because like and for example mean the same thing. Colloquialism is the way to describe a conversational writing style. So typically, writers move away from this casual, talk-like approach in favor of a more professional and analytical tone. This involves using precise language, conveying confidence, avoiding unfamiliar terms, prioritizing clarity, and of course, eliminating filler words like really, actually, literally, basically, and quite. So here, boys want to have fun. That boy is certainly head over heels in love with you. So as much as possible, we look for a more formal word to say the same thing, but doing away from colloquialisms.
Again, academic text uses tentative statement, full forms of words, nominalized phrasing, passive voice, third-person pronouns, avoids clichés, redundant words, and colloquialism.
If you are thinking what to comment, you may write 2 sentences. First one doesn't use academic language, and second one already using academic language.
Question: why do we need to learn the language used in academic writing? How is it beneficial for students like you?
I hope you learned from the video today. Thank you for watching and see you again next time.